Welcome back to What America's Thinking. This is Thursday, June 13th, and I'm Jamal Simmons. Let's jump into today's top line, government spending. Do Americans want more or less in certain budget areas? We asked the country, would you increase, decrease, or keep the same amount of government spending for a whole swath of areas? Let's see what we found out in our Hill and HarrisX daily poll. Okay, we've got a few numbers to rattle off, so stick with us. Let's focus in on the areas Americans want the government to spend more money on. Majorities of Americans want the government to spend more money on healthcare, infrastructure, and veterans benefits. That's 58% each. 54% want more money spent on education, and the same amount want more spent on Social Security. 53% say Medicare. Voters are split on the environment too. 44% say spend more, 43% say keep the same amount of spending, and 13% say spend less. There were a lot of areas that Americans want to keep the amount of government spending the same. These are areas like the State Department, agriculture, and energy. But what about spending less? Everybody wants to cut a little bit of fat, but it turns out that there wasn't a single issue that a majority of voters want to cut government spending on. That's consistent with a 2013 Pew Research Center poll, which had similar findings. We also noticed that Republican voters don't want to cut spending either. That's very interesting, considering they're the budget cutters. In fact, there was only one budget area where Republican respondents were even close to a majority in favor of cutting spending. That was financial aid to poor countries. But even there, only 47% of GOP voters wanted to spend less. The majority of them wanted to keep spending the same or increase it. The next highest was environmental protection, where 24% of GOP respondents wanted less. 51% said keep things the same, while 25% said spend more. Democrats and independent voters were not interested in cutting spending either. The one area that got the most support for spending less among Dems was the military at 25%. Among independents, cutting the State Department was the most popular item. 27% of people said they wanted to do that. So what's the takeaway here? Americans seem to want to keep things the same or to increase spending on a variety of issues, even Republicans. Thank you for watching today. Come back tomorrow. We'll talk about what America thinks when Hollywood gets involved in the political world. I'm Jamal Simmons. You can find more of my work here on Hill TV or at Jamal Simmons on Twitter or at Real Jamal Simmons on Facebook and Instagram. Now we all know what America's thinking, and we will see you tomorrow.